Salutations, friends.
Salutations.
Salutations, friends.
Salutations.
My name is Brianna Bond, otherwise known as No Ordinary Scholar.
I thought it was about time that I preached my piece. Spoiler alert, it's about time.
I'm not a betting girl. That sounds amazing.
I'm listening.
Are you ready?
Salutations, friends. If you didn't know, then you're not following my Instagram, which shame on you, at Firestorm2343. Get to it. It's going to be down below. Work on that. But if you didn't know, then I'll let you know. My computer broke a while ago. It's all my cat's fault. He just hopped up on the computer, pulled it off of my desk, and the screen broke. It's great. I'm not going to be able to afford to fix that for a while because money, it's not just floating around here. So basically what that means though is I'm going to be recording this on my phone because I do have this computer over here, but it is garbage. It does not do any of the things. It didn't crash for my live streams. I've been live streaming it since my Warmonger live stream, actually. This situation has been happening. So I was able to live stream it crash, but if I even open Google Play Store, it comes loaded on this computer, just everything is done. It's over. It's gone. So I'm recording this on my phone. It also means that we are not going to be having as many of the edits. I'm not going to be doing all of the fun goofy bits. We're going to be missing Day over on the YouTube channel for a while. But if you miss her, if you want to keep up with the times, if you want to keep up with all of that stuff, you want the full fixins, then head over to noordinaryscholar.com. There will be a post with all of the usual shenanigans on over there. Check it out. But for right now, let's go ahead, let's get into it. So, no, we are not talking about the Marvel Martin Scorsese thing today. No, today we are talking about the fact that, Marvel, it's a very big company and they're doing a lot of stuff with the MCU, and as it's expanding into Lord knows how big an empire, since Disney Plus is going to come out, it's going to be ridiculous. But that whole thing is going to be a thing. So let's just take a second. Let us discuss what it actually means by focusing on which was better. I have this random fan. Focusing on which was better in terms of Captain America Civil War. Was the movie better or was the comic book? Now, I do want to warn you guys about a potential bias I'm going to have. Because what am I here for if not to teach you about the many issues of scholar-esque stuff? Yeah, that one. So my bias is that I am severely on Cap's side of this whole situation, and so that maybe that's going to be influencing how I'm perceiving certain information, stuff like that. Although I still stand by what I'm saying. I'm solid into the ideas that I've worked up over here, but just to let you guys know, make sure you're in the know and understand everything that's going on and where I'm coming from with this stuff. So let's get into it. We are going to start. I'm going to give you a brief summary. It's not going to be as intense because I know there are some times where I'll give a super intense summary. Oh God. I'll give an intense summary. We'll take 5 minutes to summarize something, but because they're two different things. It's the lighting, not my skin tone. We're doing two different things. Sorry, that threw me off. We're looking at the comic and the movie, which in theory are the same, and in the broadest sense, they are the same. But when you actually try and answer any questions that you might have about these stories, they're severely different. So best I can say is something big happens, massive issue happens, something like that, and as a result the government steps in. And yeah, that's basically the only things that are saying. I know I said that, like, I'm severely on Cap's side, and so you might think, like, oh, whichever one, like, makes Cap's side look like the best heroes is going to be the one that I like best. But I do have issues with both of them. For instance, at the end of the comic book, Cap, like, surrenders and just decides to go to jail. I don't think he should have done that. I don't think there was an actual logical path that he was on that made sense to send him that direction. In the movies, as much as I love Tom Holland, I'm not okay with the fact that Tony just pulled in and dragged in this random child to participate in these massive battles and stuff like that. That bothered me. Like, just Peter's an actual stranger. All he's doing is, like, helping with small robberies. And Tony's like, oh yeah, we're fighting, like, some of the strongest superheroes, the most respected superheroes ever. Yeah, let's get this 16-year-old. That bothered me. And I love Tom Holland. He's great. I want to be his best friend. Now, let's look at the actual punishments that come into play. So, in the movie, you have the Sokovia Accords, which say that the members of the Avengers are now required to work for the government. I believe they do have the opportunity to say, hey, I'm just not going to fight, I'm just not going to be an Avenger or a hero anymore. But they are saying if you're going to be a superhero, if you're going to be an Avenger, you have to work for the government or you go to jail. That was fun. So, but yeah, their main purpose was to no longer allow the Avengers to be a private organization. In the comic, everyone that has a superpower must be registered with the government. Your powers, your super identity, your superhero identity, like all of your information must be registered with the government, and you must work with the government in one of their like little fighting pods. They want a group of heroes and villains, because super villains are into this too, but the super villains go Suicide Squad style and have like a dog collar on. So they want like one group in every state. This is a requirement of all people with superpowers. And if that sounds ridiculous to you, just wait. It's interesting. When you look at the actual, this becomes, whose time am I at? God, I'm already almost at 10 minutes. I'm having fun. I like this video. But like, it's gonna be a different format. It's gonna be weird, but I loved thinking about this piece and putting this piece together and writing it. It was so much fun. But as I was saying, so when you actually, it's interesting when you actually look at this from the scope of like, hey, this is what the reach of these documents and of these decisions is going to be. So in terms of the comic book, not the comic, let's start with the movie. In terms of the movie, the UN signed off on this deal. So this was a global issue. In the comic, it was just in the United States. And in fact, you do see some superheroes leaving to Canada so that way they can avoid this persecution. We're actually big. That doesn't help at all. That's gonna stay in because we can't edit the video. It's fine. It's fine. I just can't see the time. And I'm also blind, so I don't know why I thought that would help at all. So, just killing time now. But yeah, so what did I say? So movie, world issue, TV show, comic, not TV show. Wait, we're not getting into the TV show. The comic, it's a US issue. So this is why I'm on Cap's side, is I do not understand where the logic is that superhumans need to be like curtailed and need to be trained and need to be guided on how to be superheroes by people who are not superheroes. Like having a group of humans tell you, like, trying to teach you about something that they just do not understand bothers me. It bothers me immensely. And I believe I talked about this on my live stream. I do a live stream. We can link it around here somewhere. But there is just the issue of, so there are people trying to compare it to like the gun violence issue, but this is different because they even talk about this in the comment, because it's not for like Tony or something like that. I can understand that, but for a lot of these characters, it is not something that they just throw on. It is not something that they choose to have. It is a part of them. Even kind of with Tony, because he used to have like the thing to protect his heart. But a lot of these people, these are just parts of them, and this is who they are, and they cannot control that. But the government is trying to control them for being that way, and it's... You know how I feel about mopeds. Oh! But yeah, it's frustrating. So, moving on. This is actually the script that I would usually follow, and that's how we're figuring this out today. Now is the interesting part. This is where we are actually going to talk about why these decisions are being made and why people are thinking about going these routes. In the movie, so you have, I think it's Ultron, who is this robot that Tony Stark has built. And he goes haywire, starts like attacking people. There's a massive battle and there are some casualties. I will point out though, just so we can really understand what's going on here, in the movie they do say there are only, I believe, like 10 casualties, or maybe it's 10 deaths or casualties, but there aren't a lot of casualties, a lot of deaths in this situation. I believe the solution is you should try and kind of regulate and guide Tony Stark and his mad science, not the people who come in to save the day. This to me is the same as saying, hey, like someone put a bomb in my house, I'm gonna sue the person that pulled me and my kids out because they didn't save my spouse too. That's no. Okay, but it gets worse. So, in the comic, the Young Avengers are a group of like teenage level, like real young kids that, not like toddlers, but they're like teens, that have their own reality show. And on this reality show, they're generally told to stick to like small, like maybe a gas station robbery, something like that. Maybe someone steal a bike, you call them. They come across this group of like much stronger villains than they're used to, including like some that would still work against Spider-Man and the big names. They're like, oh, if we can fight them, if we can take them down, then we'll for sure be able to like boost our ranks. It'll be great. Nah, don't call the real Avengers. We got this. They start this fight. Fight ends up at school, and 800 to 900 people are killed. And so I understand kind of the hurt and the pain of people, like having that many people die in the situation. I understand the issue. I understand why you are hurt and why you're desperate for a solution. But I think you should really understand the difference between a bunch of kids being stupid to try and look cool on TV. There's a difference between that and every superhuman in the world fighting crime. There's a massive difference, and that difference itself is something that could be found within superhumans, non-superhumans. That is not exclusive to superhumans, and that's why I'm the most frustrated with the fact that this whole thing came about in the comic. Now, okay, so when I was first thinking of this idea for this piece, this is the point where I was like, okay, for sure, hands down, the movie is better than the comic, because again, how do you not understand that, like, kids being dumped for a TV show? Like, y'all have seen AFV, y'all have seen ridiculousness, y'all have seen Instagram stories. It happens. That's how cute it is. That's honestly, there are grown adults who do stupid stuff because that's how they get their name out there. That's how they stay relevant. That's how having a spotlight. If you have a spotlight anywhere, that's how people are going to react to it. But there was this, and like, especially what really bothered me about this was the fact that they're like, oh my god, we need to train you on how to be supers. It's like, nah, you, little Becky, you don't need to teach me how to be a super. Xavier, give Xavier like some grant money, we'll get 3 more mansions up. That's how you'll train people. That, I don't understand why anyone didn't think of that, but okay. So, again, this is the point where I was like, oh my god, this is absolutely ridiculous. But there was this thought that was just clawing in the back of my mind the entire time I was reading this. So Johnny Storm, part of the Fantastic Four, he was not on this planet when this whole situation with the school and the deaths, he was not on the planet when that happened. But he got back and he's trying to go like out and get drinks with this girl, and he gets jumped. He is physically assaulted and he is like chewed out. Everyone starts calling him names, calling him a freak, calling him like a monster, stuff like that. And he ends up getting to the point where he has to be hospitalized because of this. And then the people that are taking the superheroes that are doing vigilante work, they are the people like picking them up and taking them to jail are calling them freaks and calling them weird and calling them monsters. There's this underlying, not even underlying, there's this massive racist aspect to the actions that are going on. And for a while, I thought that it might have been a coincidence, but as I was writing this, it felt more and more like that was intentional. And so the reason why I currently think that the comic is better than the book is because while honestly initially both ideas didn't make sense to me of why these events would trigger these drastic results from the government. But the movie made a little bit more sense to me. Whew. Constant battle of the bone running out of space. It's great. Where was I? So I thought that the movie made a little bit more sense alone. The reason why I now believe that the comic is better is because I do not think that this situation with the school triggered it. I believe that there is a deep racism for superheroes, and the situation at the school gave people an excuse to instill this persecution of superheroes and to encourage the government to attack and like suffocate, snuff out, and isolate those groups. And that is all. It's weird when I can't do a fade out to the next screen, but that's okay. So thank you for listening. It's been definitely different. What is that? Oh my god, there's a weird bar on my. Oh, I see. I know what it is. Never mind. I got real confused, real distracted. Thank you for listening. It's been a piece of work. This is a piece of work. We're trying to figure out how to do all of my things without a decent computer. It's rough, I can say, especially because I was supposed to be editing my last edits of my novel soon. I was supposed to be putting together a cover soon, both of which are really difficult to do without a good computer, but that's okay. We'll figure stuff out. If you want to help me figure stuff out, check out my Instagram. We can chat over there. I'm at 5storm2343. And if you want to help even more, maybe even help me get to the point where I can afford to fix my computer, please check out my Patreon. There's going to be a link down below. If you want to subscribe to my Patreon, you get a bunch of cool goodies, like you get notes for the books I read, you get some of the like different, what else do I do? You get to see my reviews of books that I read, you get all of my NOS videos early, my vlogs early, you get like, you'll get the first chapters of my books before they are published. It's a good time. We have some fun over there. Come join us. But until next time, valutations, friends.